Hey everyone, good morning. Dennis Kaye here, just sitting here having a cup of coffee this morning and looking at different properties on the island of Ambergris Caye and thinking of investing. And basically, I came across two really interesting listings that I think make a fantastic study when it comes to looking at oceanfront property in desirable areas and the financial returns or the potential of a financial return in investing in some of these prime areas on an island like Ambergris Caye in the country of Belize that has secure property laws, has the second largest barrier reef in the world right at its doorstep. An area like this is always going to be highly sought after. And let me share with you something interesting regarding these two listings. Now, in full disclosure, I have nothing to do with these listings. These are being listed by Amanda at Sunrise Realty. So I'm on her website right now. But I'm going to toggle back and forth between two listings. One is this property right here. It's 150 feet of beachfront in the Tres Cocos area. And this is going for 1.25 million. It's 150 feet wide by 150 feet deep, I believe. All right, so let me tell you a little bit of backstory on this property as I kind of flick through some of the pictures here. When Steph and I first went to Belize back in 2002 to see if it's somewhere we wanted to move to, we spent a little bit of time on Ambergris Caye, and we went over to the north side of the island. Now, at that time, there was no bridge to the north side. There wasn't a road at all on the north side. There was a very small dirt track that was basically a utility easement. And in order to get to this part of the island, you had to take a little hand-pulled ferry. So you would drive your golf cart onto this little barge, and then two guys or two local guys would take a chain and literally pull you across to the other side, and you would drive over to the other side of the island. Now, at that time, it looked nothing like what the north side looks like today. All right, so there was no Mar Laguna, there was no Solitude, there wasn't even any San Mateo neighborhood where there's thousands of Belizeans living in now. There was no Grand Caribe, no Las Terrazas, nothing like that. And literally, the furthest you could take your golf cart, the furthest they would allow you to take your golf cart was to this property right here. Now, right across the street, there's a little restaurant called Sweet Basil's. That's what it was called back then, back in 2022, so 20 years ago. And at that time, we could have bought we could have bought this property for less than 200,000. All right, 200,000, and even at that time, that was considered, quite a bit of money. Excuse me, guys, got a little bit of a cough lingering. That was considered, for us, we didn't have that kind of money. Now, today, that's going for 1.25 million. So what is that? About 6 times the price. So in 20 years, this property has, gone up 6 times in value. Now, that's not the property I wanted to show you. The property I wanted to show you today is this one. This one is located directly on the ocean, beachfront property, north of Rocky Point. So this is about 18 and a half miles north of San Pedro town, currently in a very inaccessible part of the island. Okay, so you have no utilities, no roads, currently not easy to get to. But this property for 1.8 million has, let's see here, 2,116 feet of direct Caribbean frontage. All right, so 2,116. So you could get 14. If you were to subdivide today, you could get 14 of these lots directly on the ocean front, plus have over 2,000 feet of depth going from the end of the beachfront all the way back to the lagoon. So let me just kind of scroll through these pictures. This is an absolutely beautiful property, pristine area, 113 acres. All right, I think this is a steal at that price at 1.8. And she even says make an offer, because it's possible that the seller might even come down at that price, or it could even offer seller financing. And this is just absolutely packed full of potential as far as what you could use a property like this for. All right, so let's just take the numbers here. 1.8 for this. Let's say you can get it for 1.5. 1.5 for 2,116 feet of Caribbean frontage, compared to, in today's dollars, 1.25 for 150 feet of beachfront. Now, here's the way I would look at this. Depends on what you're looking to do with your money and how you see your short or long-term goals. All right, so let me just kind of break down these numbers. This is fascinating. If I have 2,150 feet of beachfront, all right, and let's say 2,150, let's say we divide that by the exact same size as that Tres Cocos lot, which is 150 feet wide by 150 feet deep. So let's go 150 feet wide divided by 150. We can get 14 nice size beachfront lots, but I wouldn't go 150 deep on those guys. I would go 150 wide by, say, 300 or 450 or 500 feet deep. All right, I'd have a nice large estate chunk of beachfront subdivided into those 14 lots. Now, right now, again, no roads, difficult to get to, right? No utilities. But how long do you think it would be on an island like Ambergris Caye for those things to get there? And over time, how do you see these lots being priced comparison to that Tres Cocos lot? All right, just kind of do some imagination here. Now, 20 years is a long time, but imagine it did take 20 years, all right, using just today's values. If in 20 years you could get 1,000 or 1,250,000 per lot in 20 years from now, because in 20 years, obviously this area is going to have been, lots of stuff is going to be happening in this area in 20 years, obviously. Let's say in 20 years, it's going to go for the exact same value is what that Tres Cocos lot is going for today. So let's go 14 lots times 1.25 million. That comes out to be 17,500 US dollars. So you spend, let's say 1.5, 1.6 today, you wait 20 years, you sell, and now you're at 17.5. Now the question is, do you honestly feel that in 20 years, property values would have not increased? Well, again, 20 years ago, I could have bought that Tres Cocos lot for under 200,000. Now it's worth 6 times that amount. I don't necessarily believe that the lots north of Rocky Point are going to be, 1.25 times 6 in value in 20 years, but who knows? They could be. I mean, it is direct oceanfront property in Belize. But I do this exercise, say, okay, if I'm an investor and if I have 1.5 million today, or if I could get a group of investors together. So for example, if I had let's say the total purchase price is 1.5 on there. Let's say we could negotiate a deal and we had, let's say 5 investors. If we each put in 300,000, sat on that, waited a while, subdivided, maybe subdivided the first row, second row, leave the back for a bulk purchase. What even would be more interesting is, let's say you take an area, maybe you take 300 or 500 feet. Let's take 500 feet out of that 2,150, 500 feet of beachfront. Let's let that become attached to the entire back portion. So now in the future, you could sell that off to a major hotel chain because you're giving them 500 feet of beachfront plus all those remaining acreages behind there. So you could probably give them, as 113 acres. Let's say you took away some of the beachfront. Let's say you're looking at, let's say you're looking at 90 acres, 85 acres. So you can sell a hotel chain 85 acres of prime real estate on Ambergris Caye that includes 500 feet of beachfront, and still you'd have something like 10 beachfront lots left. So if all of the investors took a beachfront lot for themselves, that leaves 5 to sell, including that hotel parcel, you're going to come out looking really, really well financially. So just putting this out there, guys, this is the way I think about some of these up and coming areas. Path to progress. All right. Do I feel it's going to have a return in the next year or two? Probably not. But looking forward, Ambergris Caye is a hot market. It's going to continue to develop, especially with other things that are in the works. So there's other things that I've talked about, other videos of mine that have gone out to my investor groups regarding how I qualify and quantify my own purchases, and how I think my clients should look at investing for lifestyle and the financial return, and what they might do with the funds that they have currently on hand. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you watching. Pretty excited about this one, actually. Who knows? If you're interested in doing something like this, shoot me an email. I don't know. Maybe we'll put a little group together. Who knows? We'll have to see. All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you soon.